Hey everyone, it's Blake here with ChessPathways.com, and today we're going to be talking about the Vent Kruijs opening. So the Vent Kruijs opening is this first move 1 e3 here from white, definitely an irregular opening. Usually white would prefer to put a pawn in the center of the board to grab some more space. And it's kind of funny, this is one of those openings where people ask me to make a video on it. I think there's a lot of players, playing around with their databases, really studying openings for the first time, which is great. And they're trying out all kinds of different first moves from both players, and they come across this one and think, oh, I've never heard of this Vent Kruijs opening before, what is this? Really, in my 10 plus years of playing chess, I have never heard a chess player say that they play the Vent Kruijs opening. I've never even heard someone pronounce the word Vent Kruijs opening before. I had to go look up the Dutch pronunciation when making this video. Hopefully I'm saying it right. The only time I had ever even seen the word written out is when I was messing around with databases as a beginner, checking out different first moves, came across this weird sounding name when I checked out the first move e3, and got curious about it, so I totally understand the curiosity. But the fact is, there's not much independent value to this first move e3. There are, of course, many openings where white plays e3, and this is probably just going to transpose to one of them. For example, if black played d5 here, what can white do? White could play c4, and we might get an English opening after, for example, e6, or white could play d4 here, and we're going to end up with a queen's pawn opening, maybe a queen's gambit after a later c4, or just a Kali system if white does not play c4. So even though this first move is rare, there's tons of mainstream, well-respected opening systems that we can transpose to within the next couple moves. The reason this move isn't so popular is because you can always play it later, right? You're always going to be able to play e3 later if you want to. Whereas a move like d4, you might not be able to play it later. Black might take this square under control by playing c5 or e5, and black might just get some additional options that they wouldn't have had if you would have played d4 right away. That's why if white wants to play the Kali system, for example, white will usually play d4 on move 1, and they can always decide to play e3 later, but in the meantime, this pawn exerts some influence in the center and kind of cuts down black's options a little bit. I guess one of the closest things we have to an independent system for this first move e3 would be playing knight e2 on move 2. For example, let's say e3, d5, knight e2, and after e5, white could certainly continue with like a hippopotamus defense style setup with d3 and the double fianchetto. That wouldn't really be an independent system to the Vent Kruijs opening. But I guess if white plays f4 here, you really couldn't reach this very easily from any other move order. Although, even this, if I saw it, I would probably consider this a weird line of the bird opening, which is one f4 instead of a Vent Kruijs opening. Again, that word would never come to mind. But I guess while we're here, we can look at this opening. This position's actually never been reached as far as I can see in my database. I guess black could play knight c6 here and just defend their e5 pawn. And I guess why it doesn't make much sense is that it feels like this knight belongs on f3. I guess white could play here g3 and fianchetto this bishop. That's one of the few advantages I can think of to not having the knight on f3, that at least this bishop won't be blocked by the knight, so I guess white might as well make use of that. Black could probably play knight to f6, just keep going with their development. Bishop g2. But I feel like black just has a much more comfortable position here with their natural lines of development for all their pieces, their two knights on their best squares, the full center. Feels like black's position is much more harmonious. Black could, for example, think about taking on f4 here, and it's not totally clear how white could answer this. I guess white could take with the g-pawn, but then they have to worry a little bit about this diagonal, but at least that takes towards the center. White could also play perhaps knight takes f4, trying to add some pressure here to the d5 pawn, but after black plays bishop g4, white's going to have to play either bishop f3 or knight e2, both moves that they don't really want to play. And again, it looks like black is clearly better. One more fun example before I end the video. Whenever I think of this first move e3, I often think about this kind of composition I found of a three-move checkmate. Obviously, white has to be pretty cooperative for this to happen, but I thought it was cool when I first heard about this many years ago. I never knew this checkmate existed. After e3, knight c6, knight e2, knight b4. Again, very silly moves, but it's kind of a helpmate. c3, knight d3, we get a smothered mate here as early as move 3. I just thought that was kind of amusing. So I guess the conclusion here is e3 is by no means a bad move. There's just not much of a reason to play it on move 1. So whatever opening system you're trying to reach that involves this move e3, there's probably a better move order to get there than playing e3 first. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please click the link down in the description to visit ChessPathways.com and get signed up there. Totally free, only takes a couple seconds, and I will send you a free move-by-move guide to chess thinking when you join. So please let me help you become the best chess player you can be and get signed up. Thanks, and I'll see you there.